So yesterday, I think we went through the process of classification, where we first looked at training of sites, and then we dived into the maximum likelihood classification, which basically uses the MLA algorithm. We were able to classify our features on the Landsat image, and then we got about 4 or 5 features, like 4. So we got built up forests, grasslands, and then water bodies. So today, I think I skipped one thing yesterday, but it seems no one cared to ask. Because when we were doing the change detection statistics, nobody cared to ask what about the individual statistics. So how do we know 1991, what is the actual size of bare land built up or forests? Yeah, so I'm going to run you through that one quickly before we end the ENVI section, then we move on to the ArcGIS section. So you can launch your ENVI. Launch your ENVI. Okay, so after launching your ENVI, load your classified images, both the 1991 and then 2021. We are loading all the 2 images. We are loading both 1991 and then 2021. We are loading this image and then the other one. Do we all have this image, or I should send it to the group? I mean, the 2 images. Do we all have it, or I should send it to the group? Okay. So let me send the images to the group first, and then we continue. Yes, so I'm sending it to the group. I'm opening your WeChat. So I'm sharing the image in the group so that you can follow, so that you can download, and then we continue. So kindly download the files I just sent to the group, and then you load both of them. So I'll just give you like maybe 2 minutes to do that. So I've just sent the file in the group. So just download the 2, extract them, and then bring them into the ENVI. So let me give you like 2 minutes to do that, or maybe 5 minutes to do that. Yeah, you load both images when you're done. Load both images. Are you done loading them? Are you done loading them? Okay, so 2 minutes more so that we continue. So after that, you load both images. Okay, the 1991 and then the 2021. Okay, so as I was saying yesterday, we did change detection, but nobody bothered to ask what about their individual statistics. Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly run you through how to get their individual statistics and before you run the chain detection, because you have to know the area each of these classes were occupying and then the area they are occupying now, okay, or which is the 2021. So let's move on. So first, we want to look at the areas, okay, the areas. So we have our classes, we have delta, forest, grassland, water body. So basically, we want to look at these 4 classes, the areas they were covering, both in 1991 and then in 2021, okay, which is basically very essential when you are doing your land use and land cover change analysis, okay. So to do that, it's very, very simple, okay, it's very, very simple. Let's first do that of the 1991, this one, okay, the 1991, this one. So now I want to extract the area, okay. So probably we want to extract it so that we can send it to Excel and probably continue your temporal analysis, right? So you right click on the AMA 1991. Okay, sorry, not the AMA. If you see another AMA, you have the max class, right? The max light here, this one. Okay, or you see the classes in here. When I zoom in, you see there's classes in here, right? Yeah, you right click on the classes. You right click on the classes. That's the 1991. And then when you right click on the classes, it gives you what, a drop down, right? It gives you a drop down. It gives you a drop down. So it gives you a drop down. You see that starts for all classes, right? You select that one. Starts for all classes. Okay, so first you right click on the classes under AMA 1991. Okay, the first option. Okay, class for all, starts for all classes, right? You select that one and it gives you this. And it gives you this. It gives you this, right? Okay, we want the starts for 1991. So you select 1991. Okay, AMA 1991. You select AMA 1991. So I'll select AMA 1991. Okay, and after that, you select OK. Okay, all right. So it gives you something like this, right? It gives you something like this. It gives you something like this, okay? So you can see that it's in what? Meter squared, right? So let's change it to kilometer squared as we did yesterday, right? It's in meter squared. So each and every class in here, okay, water bodies have its own classes and its own percentage and stuff, right? Yeah, so we are going to change it to meters, kilometers squared. Okay, so let's just change it to kilometers so that I continue. So at the top here, okay, you see options, right? You see options. You select that option. You see options at the top here, right? So select options. It gives you this, right? It gives you, sorry. It gives you so when you select options, the last option there, that's class summary. Okay, you can see that meters, feet, yards, nautical miles, and stuff. Okay, so let's just use km squared. Okay, so select the second option, km squared. Okay, that's because you are converting from meters squared to km squared. So select that one. Okay, so if your studies probably is in feet, you select feet. If your studies is in km squared or something, but we are just using this as a case study, right? So we select km squared, and once you do that, you will see that it has been changed, right, to km squared. Okay, you can see that the units have been changed to km squared. Okay, so basically in 1991, we can see that water bodies were actually covering 0.74 km squared, right? And we can see grassland were having the most significant area, right? We have about 58.7 km squared. Okay, followed by, okay, not actually, okay, sure. So it was the second, right? Grassland was the second, but you can see that built up was a dominant. Okay, it was a dominant, which is 66.7, and then forest had what 13.8 or 13.9 km squared. Okay, so if you want to look at the individual statistics, this is how you look at it. Now, if you want to export it, you can export it as a test file. Okay, if you want to export it, you can export it as a test file. Should I repeat this step again? Okay. Now, our aim is to look at AMA, okay, in 1991. Let me uncheck the 2021, okay. We want to look at what the amount of area, okay, which each and every class in here is occupying. We have 4 classes, which is built up, forest, grassland, and water body, okay. We don't know what is the area coverage of what? Of water bodies or built up or forest. Okay, so we want to look at the statistics. Okay, maybe you want to look at it in a temporal way, right? So you need to get their statistics, right? So to do that, under the class here, okay, you can see, and you right click on the class. Okay, you right click on the classes. That's just below the max like. You right click on the classes. Okay, and it gives you this drop down. It gives you this drop down. Okay, you select the first option, start for all classes. Okay, it gives you this dialog window, right? This dialog window. Okay, so we have the AMA 1991 and then the 2021. You select the AMA 1991. You select it. So after selecting, just click OK, right? So it generates the stats for you. Okay, something like this, right? It generates the stats for you. Okay, it generates the stats for you. So you can see that we have the stats in terms of the pixel sizes or the pixel points, in terms of what? The percentage, and in terms of area in meters squared, okay? Depending on what you are doing, if you are working on meters squared, it's fine, but depending on what you are doing, you can change the units, okay? You can change the units. In this case, I want to change the units to kilometers squared instead of meters squared. So what I will do is that I'll convert the unit to kilometers squared. And this is how we are going to convert the units. You are at the app here. right? You see options in there, right? Okay, so you select options. Okay, you select options. So it gives you what? A drop down. Okay, you select the last option, which is class summary area units. Okay, so as soon as you select it, you see that it gives you what? The area units. Okay, so you can change it to any other unit you want, but I want to use kilometers squared. So we pick the second option, which is km squared. We pick the second option, km squared. As soon as you click on km squared, the meter, the stats change automatically from here. Initially, it was meters squared, but now it was km squared, right? Can we go on? Is it okay now? Yes, so now we can see that these classes, built up is, of course, dominating, right? Followed by grassland and then forest and the rest, right? So this is how you generate the statistics, right? Both in percentage and then in area, okay? Now we are coming to export it to a test file, so that probably we want to work with it on Excel or maybe on Python or any other software you want to work on. So we are going to export it to our change detection folder, okay? To do that, you are going to select file, okay, this file, okay, the first option up here. You are going to select file, okay, you select file. So it gives you some options in there, right? It gives you some options in there. All right, so under the options, you see that it gives you save class result to ENVI. That's not what we want. But what actually we want is save all class result to test file. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth option, save all class results to test file. Okay, select that one. Okay, we are going to save all our statistics to that file. So we want to save it as a test file. Okay, we want to save it as a test file. So you select the fourth option. Select the fourth option. Okay, the fourth option, right? You select it. So it opens this dialog window for you. Okay, it opens this dialog window for you, right? Yeah, so basically it's asking you if you want to save the file, where do you want to save? That's basically the file destination. So you click on choose, and then you save it in the change detection folder we created yesterday. Okay, so you can save it as AMA 1991. It's okay. Okay, you can save it as AMA 1991. So let me just save it. Right, so I'll go to choose. I will navigate to my folder. Okay. Remember, we are dealing with 1991, so you have to be in the TM04 folder. Then under the folder, I created a new folder, which I named it change detection, right? I didn't name mine, but it's fine. Let me just create a folder and then name it maybe change detection or maybe classification folder, or maybe, yeah, stats folder or something. So you can create a folder and then probably name it maybe class stats, or class stats is okay. Something like this, class stats. We are basically creating a class statistics. Okay. We are creating a class statistics. So you save in that folder. You save your file in that folder. So I'm opening that folder and then I'll save it as AMA 1991. Okay, I'm going to save it something like this. Okay. AMA 1991. All right, I'm repeating it again. I'm repeating it again. All right, so after generating your results, okay, which is this one, after generating the results, the next thing to do is to save your results, right? So you are going to click on File at the top here, okay, at just your left top corner. You select the fourth option, okay, Save All Class Results to Test File. Okay, it opens a dialog window for you, right? It opens a dialog window for you, right? You click on Choose. You click on Choose. You click on choose, which opens another dialog window for you to save your file. You navigate to your folder, which is the Landsat 4 folder. You create a folder which you can name it class stats. You can name it class stats. It's okay, or you can even save it in the change detection folder. It's also okay. But I've created a folder in here which I named it class stats. I save it in there as AMA 1991. Okay. So it has been saved. So when you go to the folder, you see that it's there. It has been saved in the folder. Okay. You see that it has been saved as was test file in the folder. So when you open that test file, it gives you the same results you extracted, right? It gives you the same results you extracted. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? So from here, you can either open text file straight in Excel, or you can just clean it up a bit and then import it to Python to do your trend analysis, if you are doing temporal analysis. All right, so do the same for 2021. Do the same for 2021. Let me just give you some 5 minutes to do that. Do same for 2021, which is this one. Do same for this one. Yeah, do the same thing. Yeah, same thing for 2021. This time I'm going to select 2021. And so initially we did for 1991, so I want you to do for 2021. Yeah, the same process. Yeah, just that this time you select 2021 instead of 1991. Are you done? All right. So now let's just oppose the two and see what we just do some few observation on it. Let's go to our folder and open, like in the test folder, you open both the 1991. Let's place it somewhere. Then we open the 2021. Okay, so let me just put it somewhere here. Okay, and then let me bring the 1991. All right, so I'm just opposing the two. Okay, I'm just opposing the two. Let me increase the size of this. All right, so I've just opposed the two. Okay, so what do we see? Okay, what's the difference between the two? Or what's your observation? What's the observation between the 2021 and then the 1991? What has happened? Looking at the area and then the percentage, the area in km squared and percent, what has happened? For instance, what has happened to forest? What has happened to forest? Yeah, forest decreased, right? Yes. What again decreased apart from forest? The the grassland also decreased, right? Yeah. And which one normally increased? Look at which one has increased significantly? Of course. So both type have increased significantly. So when you remember yesterday when we were doing it, you can see that both type was having higher change, right? So basically, this is how we extract the individual statistics. So after you extract it, then you can do your change detection. Okay, you can do the change detection. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? I believe it's quite simple, right? All right. So now you guys are experts in land use land cover change. So I believe you can apply it to your work. And mind you, if your work is a very large area, I think Pasindu will take you through Google Earth Engine, where you can do this, you can perform this using some codes on Google Earth Engine to give you all these kind of results. And if your area is big and probably you don't want to use Landsat, you can use the CDS Copernicus land cover land cover data sets. That one I think has the whole world, so you can just clip it. But that one has already been classified. So what we did was just to show you how they classified it, what happened to the backend. So when you go and meet it there, it went through this process before you saw it there. Yesterday I mentioned that, however, if you are doing a work in China, there's a site called Senodo, Senodo. It has data sets, that's land cover chain data sets for China from 1985 to 2022 or 2023. Yes, Senodo, when you go to their site, they have it there. Yes, so that one too is classified. You just have to take your area. It's classified based on I think on regional, national, and then provincial level too. Okay, so that is basically how they did their classification. Now we've come to the end of ENVI, so now we are switching to ArcGIS, where we are going to create raster maps. So after doing your classification, you need to create the maps. Okay, you need to create the maps. You need to create the maps. So when you're done creating the map, if there's more time, we might do temperature analysis and NDVI. That's if there's more time. But if there's no time, we might shift it to next week. We might shift it to next week. Okay. So let me give you some 2 minutes to wrap up. Then we move to ArcGIS. We move to ArcGIS. So you can just close the ENVI for now, and you can launch your ArcMap. But I'll give you like 2 minutes to do that. I believe you all have the ArcMap 10.8, right? Do you all have the ArcMap? Right, so just launch it. So we are done with probably the remote sensing aspects. So we are going to more of the GIS aspects. But even though it's still under remote sensing, what you are going to do today. I'll give you like 2 minutes to launch it because I know ArcGIS normally absorbs memory, so it takes some time to launch it because our PCs are not the same. So, but before we move on, is there any question? Any question in relation to this, or in relation to general remote sensing, or in relation to land cover changes, or anything? Is there any question? Is there any question? Any question? Any questions so far? Or we are all satisfied? Are we done launching our ENVI? Hey, sorry, our ArcGIS. Is anyone in the process of launching it? Because I know some of our PCs are quite slow and some are fast. So we can continue, right? Can we continue? All right, so let me just introduce you to the interface. Just a little bit. I will not go that deep, okay? All right, so when you open ArcGIS for the first time, this is what you see. But you're not going to see these things, right? Because these things are what's done by Mr. President. So this, maybe yours is going to be blank, right? Yours is going to be blank. All right, so you just close this one. Okay, just close it. Okay, just close it. All right, let me start from the menu bars. Okay, let me start from the menu bars. At the top here, right, you see some menus in here, right? Okay, so these are basically the menu bars. Okay, so just like the ENVI, if you want to open something, you can just go to the file, and then you click. You see that there are options there where you can open and stuff, right? So you only click on it, right? Edit. Okay, so edit, as we all know, as the name depicts, edit. So if you want to edit a particular data or something, you can just do it there. We have the views too. Okay, basically, if you want to view your data, and we have the insert. The insert is much more useful when you are creating a map. Okay, so we have the legend and everything in there. Okay, we have the selections. Okay, so there are two types of selections. So you have selection by attributes, right? And then who knows the other one? Selection by attribute and selection by what? You click it, is there. Selection by attribute and selection by what? When you click it, what do you see? When you click on selection? Selection by attribute and what? And location, right? But you're not going to use that tool, so it's fine. Geoprocessing, you're going to use most of these tools. Okay, you're going to use clipping and all those things to create our study area map. That's next week. But today I'm creating only raster maps. Okay, that's the maps we just classified. When you go to customize, there are tools in there that you can actually bring into your ArcGIS toolbox. So tools like the classification, the editor, georeferencing, and all those things. Okay, they are all in the customize. When you click on them, you will see that it is there. Okay. All right. So we have the Windows, which is not that important, and then the help, which gives you information about ArcGIS, and if you want to link it to your online, if you want to ask some questions and stuff, you can do that. All right. So the next is the toolbar. Okay. So the toolbar basically contains some tools that you are normally going to use in your GIS. Okay, as time goes on. The first one, if you want to open a new fresh page. Okay, let's say if you are working in this page and you want to open a new blank spot. Okay, a new blank sheet. You select this one. Okay. What's the name there? When you point it, what's the name? Is it blank something? New, right? Okay, so that's a new interface. Okay, open, of course, right? When you click on it, it enables you to open a file in your documents or on your computer. Of course, save, if you want to save a file. Okay, so there are two types of saving files. Okay, two types of saving files in ArcMap. You can save it in an ArcMap document. You can save it in map package. Okay, and then last one, if you are using ArcGIS online, you can also export it to ArcGIS online. Okay, but most of us normally save documents in ArcMap documents. So when you send it to your friends, they don't see anything, right? They only see the arrows in there. Yeah, that's a wrong way of saving. If you want your friend to be able to use it from another computer, you just have to save it as a map package, which if there's more time, I'll take you through that. All right, so we have the print. If you have a printer linked to it, you can print your map and stuff. So we have the cut, the paste, the copy. This one is more of a wrong, right? So yeah, it's more of a wrong. So this one is do and undo, right? This one, if you want to add a data, okay, so there are two types of data, okay, in GIS. You have the raster data and the vector data. Okay, so raster data basically appears in pixels, okay. So when you take a photo and you zoom in that photo, you see that it becomes pixelated, right? So we call it pixels or cells, okay. However, vector data comes in the form of a point, polygon, or a line. Okay, so you can see that on the map, you see some points in there, which we normally call them towns or cities or villages or something. You see lines. Okay, so lines represent something like water bodies, any water body, whether it's a river, a stream, or a pond or something, right? And lines also can represent roads as well. Okay, roads or railway lines. All right, and then we have polygons, which is more of the boundaries of a country, the districts, region, province, and stuff, right? Yeah, so if you want to open it, you can just click on this, and then we have the, it gives you a pop-up where you can select a vector or a raster data. These tools are shortcuts, okay? For instance, this represents catalog, okay? This year, we are not going to treat anything in relation to creation of vector points or something, so this will not be important. This is a table of contents, okay? It's basically this one that you see here, okay? That is the toolbox, the one with the red one. So the toolbox basically contains all the tools in here, contains all the tools that you'll be using for your ArcGIS analysis. So when you click on it, you see that it appears on your right-hand side. So I think it's loading. Take some few minutes before. Yeah, so this toolbox, let me just put it here. Okay, so it contains all the tools that you use for your spatial analysis. Okay, it contains all the tools. However, I'm going to use some of it, not all of it, because you use what is important to you, right? So these tools are just like the ENVI toolbox, where it gives you some tools that are useful for your spatial analysis. I think that is all for the introduction. Let me check if there's anything I didn't mention. Of course, this is the table of contents. Any data you load will appear here. Okay, any data you load will appear here. These ones are formatting tools. Okay, formatting tools. So if you want to zoom out or zoom in, zoom out. If you want to use the palm, okay, to drag a particular item on the map interface, you can do it. This is what we call the zoom to full extent. Okay, so if you want to juxtapose the image in such a way that you can look at every content of the image, it's just like full extent in ENVI. Okay, the globe there represents zoom to full extent. This one is a form of zoom in, and this one is a form of zoom out. This one is just a cursor. If you want to click on a point to basically give you some information. This one is information. It's basically linked to the help. Okay, basically linked to the help. The rest are not that important, but the editor, okay, you're not going to do georeferencing, but basically it's basically useful for digitizing or doing creating polygons, points, and stuff. But as I said, our time is limited, so we won't be able to do editing like how we did last year. I think that will be all. The rest are just extensions from classification and stuff. So this is just basically a brief introduction of the software interface. Okay. Lastly, when you go down here, there are two types of layers down here, two types of icons down here. Okay. So we have the data view and the layout view. Okay. So the data view is what we are currently seeing. Okay. If you want to create a map, you click on the second icon, which gives you the map view. We call it data view, and then we have the layout view. Okay, so if you want to create a map, you click on that. So when you click on that, it takes you to what? The map interface, something like this. Okay, so it takes you into a map interface. Okay, so we'll be using this layout a lot today. Any questions so far? I was being fast because it's just an introduction to the software. We've not done anything yet. Okay. So basically, that is the brief introduction to the software interface. Now we are moving to the work itself. Okay, so now your supervisor, as I said, you are using the scenario where your supervisor wants to know how the features on the land have changed. So now we know that the features on the land have changed. Now, how do you present it to your supervisor? You have to present it in the form of what? A raster map to him. Okay, you can't just do a snapshot from the ENVI and show it to him. He might get angry. So you have to create a nice map and then you show it to him. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to create a raster map. Okay. All right. So let's open our 1991 folder. I mean the folder which hosts the 1991. That's a classified image, 1991. This one, classification. Okay, classification, this one. The 1991, this image, the one I sent to the group. Okay. You locate that folder. The classified image. The classified image. 1991, yeah, AMA 1991. The classified image. The one I sent to the group. The one I sent to the group some few minutes ago. Yeah. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. This format basically will be difficult for you to use the open tool in ArcMap. So you need to drag and paste it in there. Okay. So you click, you hold. Okay. You click, you hold. You see that when you hold and you're dragging it to the ArcMap, okay, it displays it, right? And then you send it up and you leave it in there. So I repeat the step. So I repeat the step, or you can do it, right? It's just dragging it into ArcMap, right? Should I repeat the steps or you're okay? All right, let me delete this one. Okay, so in your folder, okay, in your folder, you click and you hold, okay? So you can see that there's a box following your mouse wherever you go, right? You click and hold, don't release it. Go down to the taskbar, okay? Show it, just point it on the ArcMap, don't leave it, okay? Now bring it up into the ArcMap and then leave it, like release the left click, it appears there, right? It's very simple, right? It's not working? It's not working? That, let me see. That means you selected the wrong 1991 image. No, that's not. This is the test file. This is not. This is the test file. I mean your classified image. Where is it? This one is a test. If you open, it's a test file. This is a test file. Yeah. So please don't open the test file. Just open the classified image, not the test file. Yeah. Yeah, so you drag it to the, you see there's a button there. Drag it. Go, keep on dragging. Drag it till you get to the button there. Go drag it. Come down. No, come down. Yes. Where you get here. Okay. It's on a page. Yeah, it's on a page already. I've shared it already. It's on the page already. Yeah. It's already on the page. You just have to download it. Can we continue, or I should give you some time? I should give you some time. Should you continue? Should you continue, or I should give you some time? Can we continue? Okay, so now we can see that we have the classes showing, right? We can see that we have the classes showing. All right, however, we don't want these two classes, they're unclassified. So we have to remove them, right? So the first thing to do is to remove these two. Okay, the first thing to do is to remove these two. I don't know if I should continue or I should wait. Should I continue? Okay. Now I want to remove the unclassified, right? These two, because they are not relevant in our studies, right? So you right click on the AMA, something like this. You right click on the AMA. Okay, right click on it. It gives you some options in there, right? It gives you some options in there. All right, you want to look at the last option, which is properties. You select properties. Properties, the last option. You right click on the AMA 1991. It gives you a drop down, right? You select the last option, properties. The last option, properties. You select the last option, properties. Okay, properties, the last options. All right. So once you select, it opens this dialog window for you, right? It opens this dialog window for you. You have this, right? And the classes are there, right? So our aim here is to remove these two because it is not part of our studies. Forget me the one. Can we continue? All right. So under this, you can see that it has displayed these classes. Our aim is to remove the two, right? The first two. You just want this four, right? But before we remove it, we can see that we can't remove it from here. So we need to change it to one of these, right? I don't know whether I should use the classified or the unique values. All right, so select the unique values, the second option, the unique value. This one, the unique values. It asks you this question, right? I click on yes. All right, so you have this. As soon as it's done, you have this, right? Let me zoom in. You have this, right? After selecting the unique values, you have this, right? Or you don't have that one. You have it, right? Now you can see that there's a remove here, right? There's a remove here. So you click on the first one because you don't need the first one. And then you select remove. So I'll click on the first one and then I'll select remove. All right, so now we have what? 4 classes, right? We have 4 classes. Are you all having 4 classes? Okay, good. But the problem is that water has become white. Grassland have become blue. Forest have become, of course, light green, and built have become what? Green. We don't want it that way, right? We want it to its original color, right? Should I go back or I should continue? You should go back. Okay. I'm going back. So I'm starting again. Okay. You've loaded your image, right? Under the table of contents, okay. Under the table of contents, okay, you right click on AMA 1991. You right click on AMA 1991. So I'm right clicking, which gives you these options, right? You select the last option, which is what? Properties. Okay. You select the last option, which is properties. So it gives you something like this, right? Or it doesn't give you something like this, right? Okay. Now we cannot remove anything from here because there's no remove option. Okay, so we need to what? Change it. Okay, we need to change it. So we want to look at the second option, unique values. Okay, so you select unique values. You select unique values. You select unique values. So once you select unique values, it gives you this option, this dialog window, right? So where it's have to remove right in there, right? All right. So the next thing is to what? Click on one. Okay. If the one is unclassified, you click on it. If maybe your unclassified might be 542, right? So if yours is 542, just click on that 542. But mine is one. The unclassified is one. So I'll click on one, right? So I'll click on one, and then you see that the remove has been activated in here, right? And then you select remove. So it removes it. Now we have only 4 classes, right? All right, but the problem is that we have what? Water to be white. Water is never white. Okay. You know, we have the white now, but the white now is not white. It's supposed to be blue, right? This one is supposed to be what? Light green, right? But it's blue. Okay. And the rest. So now to change the color, you just have to click on the white box in here. Okay, so you click on it, but just double click. So it gives you the color ramp, okay, or the color options. Let me zoom in so that you can see it well. All right. You have something similar to this. Okay, so you select any of the blue colors you want. Okay, because you are dealing with water body. So you select any of the blue colors you want. So I'm going to select a blue color from this one. Maybe I'm selecting this one. So I have what blue in here as what water bodies. Okay. Grassland is supposed to be light green. The same process. You double click. Okay, and then you choose what a green, light green related color. Okay, so you can see that the greens are around here, right? The light greens are at the top here. You can choose any of the greens at the top there. So let me choose a light green, probably this one. Forest is supposed to be what? Deep green, right? So you choose any of the deep greens. Okay, any of the deep greens. Okay, any of the deep greens. So I'm going to choose any of the deep greens for forest. And then built up. Okay, so for built up, you can choose the reds or the magentas. Okay, or some may refer to as the purples. Okay, the magentas or the purples, or the reds, any of them is fine. I'm going to choose the magenta. I'm going to choose magenta for the built out. So we have that we have our blue as water, light green as grassland, deep green as forest, and then magenta as what? As built up. When you are done, you just click apply and then okay. So you can see that you have only your 4 classes in here. You've eliminated the unclassified. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay, so I'll give you 10 minutes to rest, then we continue from there. 10 minutes to rest. Whilst you are resting, I'm pasting something in the group. Please download it now. I'm pasting something in the group. Please download it and extract it. Whilst you are resting, just then, please download it. Yeah, it's just 10 kilobytes. Yeah, I sent AMA. The name is AMA. It's a zip file. So download that one. We just want to overlay it on this and just make it nicer, that's all. So can we continue? Can we continue? All right, now I sent you a file, AMA. I hope it's just 10 kilobytes. I hope you downloaded it. So let's bring the file in here. Okay, so it's in a polygon file, right? The shape file of the AMA. So to bring it in ArcMap, you see this plus in here. Okay, this plus with a yellow board or something, right? So it's called add data, right? You click on it. You click on the add data icon, the black plus with a yellow board below it. You click on that icon. Okay, so it opens this dialog window for you, right? this dialog window for you. So now you have to navigate to where the AMA file is. Okay, some of you, most of you probably might be at downloads, right? Or maybe you've located it, relocated it, which is fine. And wherever you've located it, you just click on this icon, right? This icon. The icon with a black cross and a folder just below it, right? You click on it. Okay. You click on it. Okay, so it opens this too for you, right? Okay, so wherever your file is, just go. I don't know where your file is, right? For me, I know where my file is, so I'm going to where my file is. Okay. All right, so I'm repeating. Okay, so you want to overlay the AMA boundaries, okay, or the shapefile on this image. Okay, so to do that, you will see that in the tool menu, okay. All right, so there's an icon here, which is called Add Data, right? You select that icon. Okay. It has a black cross and a yellow board below it, right? So you select that one, which opens this dialog window for you, right? From there, you are going to select this option, okay? Connect to folder. Okay, it's a black cross with a folder beneath it, right? So you select that one. Okay, which opens this for you as well. Okay, I don't know where you saved your AMA file. Okay, the one I just sent in the group. Okay, so I'm going to locate mine. So wherever you saved yours, just go to that folder. So for me, I saved it in my local hard disk. So I'm going there. I think I saved it in my local hard disk, and I saved it in. Okay, let me just click on OK. So when you click on OK, it sends you to your folder, right? So mine is here. I don't know where yours is. So I'm just going to locate mine. So we can see that mine is here. So you see that AMA.shp is there. Let me give you some time to locate yours. Should I repeat this step? Should I repeat these steps? Okay. So you go to Add Data at the top here. Okay. You go to connect to your folder here. I don't know where you saved your AMA file, so you just go to where you saved it. So for instance, if mine is in this external, so I'll just go to the external, and then I'll locate my GIS training folder. Okay, I'll locate my GIS data, and I'll click OK. So once you click, it appears here. Okay, you can see the AMA in your GIS folder. Right. So if yours is at my documents, you go to documents. If yours is anywhere, desktop, you go to desktop. Okay, so it depends on where you place your file. After that, you just select Add. Okay, you select Add. When you are done, you can see there's an Add this thing here. Just Add. Select Add. So as soon as you select Add, it overlays on this image. Okay. So you select Add. You select it, and then you select Add. You can see it has been overlaid on the raster image, like this. Do you all have this? Okay. But it's covering the whole image, so we just want to make it transparent so that we can see the image. Is anyone lost so far? Is anyone lost so far? All right, so I'm repeating the steps again. Let me delete this one. All right, so initially it was like this, right? So I'll go to Add Data. Okay, I'll go to Connect to Folder. Okay, I'll locate where my file is, my AMA file. So my AMA file is ArcGIS, and it's in GIS data. I'll click OK. All right, then I'll select AMA, and it's there. So I'll select that one and click on Add, which displays it. So when it's displayed, you can see that it has what AMA attached, and under the table of contents, you see it, right? But it's covering the whole image. That's not what you want. You just want to see that it is only lies within the boundary of the image. Okay. So you see this box here. You see this box here. Do you see it? Just under the AMA, this box. this box, okay, you click on it. Yours might be yellow, yours might be red, right? So you click on that box. Click on that box. Click on that box. So I'm clicking on that box. It gives me this, right? Do you have this? You select hollow. You select hollow. Yeah, hollow. You select hollow. Hollow means only the boundaries will show, but the inside is going to be transparent so that you can see the images. So you select hollow. Hollow. Can we continue? All right. So you select hollow. All right. You can choose to increase the outline if you want, just to make it nice. But if you want to, right? For me, I like increasing it. Okay. But this is not compulsory. You can just leave it as it is. Okay. When you click OK, you can see that. Okay. So you can see that it has carved the boundary like that, just to make it nicer. But you can leave it as it is. It's fine. All right. You all have something like similar like this. Yeah. So now the next thing is to add what we call a data frame. Okay. So it's like a book page. You have page 1. You want to go to page 2, right? So you're going to add a data frame so that we are going to post the 2021 image there. This, mind, this is only 1991, right? So we need to add another chapter or another book to it, or another frame. We call it data frame. To add a data frame, you see that at the add data, there's a pointed arrow there, a small pointed arrow there. Okay, this pointed arrow. You see that just after the add data. Okay, click on it. Click on it. So we want to add a new book so that we put our 2021 image there. So you click on the arrow just close to the add data. Okay, do you see data frame there? Oh, sorry, my bad. It's not that one. It's insect rather, sorry. Select insect, this one. Insect, yeah. Not this one, sorry. Insect. Select insect, and you see data frame there, right? Yeah, so you select insect, and you see the first option is what data frame, right? You select that one. So as soon as you select, it gives you a blank page, right? A blank spot. Okay. So as soon as you select insert and you select data frame, it gives you a blank spot. Okay, that's a new page. That's your page 2. Okay, so you can see that your page 1 is already there, right? This is a new page. Okay. However, if you want to go back to page 1, okay, if you want to go back to page 1, you see a name, layers in here. You see layers, right? You right click on it and you see something called activate. Okay, it sends you back to that page. Okay, you right click on layers. If you want to go back to page 1, you right click on the layers and then you select activate. So it gives you your old image. Okay, so you see activate is the last but 1, 2. This one. Last but 1 option, not 2, sorry. Okay, so you select that one, which brings you back to where you were, right? So you have your old image, right? But you want a new image. So if you want to activate a new image, the same process. But this time, you see new data frame, you right click on it and you select activate. Okay, so it gives you, it's more of a page. You are doing it as a page. So you right click and then you activate. The same process for the new data frame. Okay, now please do for 2021 the same thing I did for 1991. Just do the same for 2021. Let me give you like 10 minutes to do that. The same thing I did. The same thing I did for 2021. Yeah. You remember, right? So just try. Just try. I'll be doing it along with you, but I'll not be talking. Okay. We are doing 2021. So do it. I'm just. Come again. So therefore, I gave you 2 for 1991 and 2021. So do the 2021. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ele não vai ser. Ah, meu filho, irmão.
Anyway, na meka mo de ba ko be tum na sia.
Right now.
Be tum nche bia. So ka crazy. We na make. Yeah, you can drag it this one.
My class.
Okay.
Yes. Number 4, please. When I click it, doesn't.
No, just click OK first. Click OK. So it appears. Now you can open it from there. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, so I'm doing it. I'll just okay. Okay. No, I didn't. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It's good you gave it to them. Oh, there are people there. I guess yeah. Yeah. And even you can still even communicate with us if you are still in China. You can just communicate with this person. Just come and uh, yeah, 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 yeah. It's also a very good idea. Yeah, yeah. It's even yeah, yeah. That's very true. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, yes, that's very true. Yeah, well, it's a good initiative. It's a very good initiative. But when they graduate, they are gone. Hmm. Yeah. 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 Yeah, he doesn't have money. Like he's calling me, I'm calling.
So after the Easter were 2020, I got to AMI, right? Well, the photos that you send in the group.
Okay, so they're all in the same, unless you have to bring it here because they're all in the same page now.
So I
So you activate this one and bring this one in.
moved it up.
Yeah, right click, then activate last but one option. Activate last but one option. Then put that one in the yeah. Let's drag it in. Yeah.
Always, if I have another one, another
Yeah, so
photo.
if you have another file, you can
You get them.
yeah. Because if you have this one, you can delete this one, but you can, yeah, same to file. Yeah, so you can delete the first hey, this one is 1991. Sorry, wait, wait. Okay, you can delete the 1991 so that you leave it. I mean, the 2000 and this has become the first page. Okay, it's fine. You can leave it like this.
Right to right.
You didn't choose follow. No, hold on, wait. Close it, wait. Yeah. Drag it in there because it's in a new page. So drag it in there. So click on it, AMA, on the AMA, and drag it in there. So it becomes shorter. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. All right, so now we have data frame 1 and data frame 2. Okay, so we have all the two images. You have the same thing, right? Yeah, so now you are going to create the map. You are going to create the map. If you recall, I told you that down here, okay, we have the data view, which is currently our view, okay? So now to create a map, you can't create a map here unless you go to another interface, which we call it the layout view. Okay, so down here, currently you can see that this one has been highlighted. That's the data view, okay? That's the current. Now you want to migrate to the layout. So you click on the second icon, which is the layout view, to create our maps. Okay, I'm repeating again. At your down left corner, okay, you will see that there is data view icon and layout view icon. Select on the layout view icon, which is the second option. Select on the layout view icon. So I'm selecting. Once you select it, you will see that you have this, right, with all the two images displayed in there, right? Yes, I know you told me to go back. Yeah, so I was saying that currently we are using what? The data view. Okay, the data view. All right. Now we want to create our map. We can't create our map in the data view. Okay, so we need to change the layout view. Okay, so down here, you click on layout view. That's the second icon. Layout view. The second icon down there. The second icon. You click on it. So I'm clicking on the second icon, this one. So once you click on this one, okay, once you click on this one, you see that all the maps will be displayed there, the two maps. Do you have that? All the two images, the first one and the second one. Do you have this thing? Right, okay. Now, this from this stage is quite important, so please listen. Okay, from this stage is quite important, so please listen. Now, our current view is what we call the portrait. Okay. Now I want to change the current view to layout. Okay, so that I can juxtapose the two. Okay, I can juxtapose the two. So to change from portrait to layout, okay, you are going to the file. You go to the file up here. Okay, you go to the file. You click on the file up there. That is your left top corner. Okay, the first menu icon. That's the file, right? You select the file. Okay, it gives you these options. You select the file. Okay, which gives you these options. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th option, page and print setup. Select the 10th option, page and print setup. Page and print setup. You select that one. You click on file, you select page and print setup. Click on file, select page and print setup. So it opens this dialog window for you, right? The page and print setup. Okay, so you can see the orientation here. Another one is what is portrait, right? But I want landscape, so you click on landscape, the button here. Click on landscape. That's because we want to just juxtapose the two images. Even though you can use portrait, but I am using landscape. Okay, you can choose to leave it at portrait, it's fine. So you click on the landscape button. Should I repeat again? Or we are okay? Okay, so once you click on the landscape, then you select OK. Once you click on the landscape, then you select OK. So it enlarges your working space, right? You have a huge workspace like this. Should I repeat the steps? Or it's okay? Should I repeat the steps or it's okay? Okay. Okay, let me give you like 1 minute to wrap up, then we continue. Okay, let's continue. Now, the next step is that you realize that this inner box has gone outside, right? Okay, okay, so when you are creating a map, this is the what? The border lines, okay? So all your items has to be within these border lines, or else when you save it as an image, you're not going to see it. So everything has to be within these border lines, okay? Within the square box. When you send something outside a square box, when you save it as an image, that thing will not appear on the map, okay? So this is your boundary. You don't have to go beyond that boundary. But we realize that this has gone beyond the boundary. So we have to bring it into the boundary. Okay. To do that, you just have to scroll up a bit like this. Okay. You scroll up a bit like this. Okay. You click on that boundary, and then you see there's a box there. Okay. You highlight on it, click, drag, and break it down so that it comes within the boundary. Because when you go outside the boundary, when you save it as image, you won't see anything. Okay. So you have to be within the boundary. Can we continue? Should I continue? All right, the next thing is that let's position the first one well. This one, okay, I'm just dragging it here a bit because a little bit here, it's okay. I'm just dragging it here so that I can position this well. Okay, so it was here. This one was here. I'm just dragging it. It's just dragging. So I can either put it here or there. But let me just put it here like this. Okay. Come again? The reason why I showed one map is that you didn't add a layer data frame. But normally, when you add a data frame, you need to put the second one in this data frame. If you put all in one data frame, to show you only one map. So you need to add a data frame, like I said. They are in two different pages now. This one is in page one. I'm sure you put all in page one. That's why you have only one map. So when you uncheck the 1991, you see the 2000 appearing there, right? So you need to add a new data frame. So you can just go to insert and add a new data frame. I think you can help him do that. You can help him do that. All right, now I'm going to position this one well. It's all about position. I'm just positioning this one well. Okay, so you can just play around with it a bit. I'm just positioning this one well. Okay, so it's too big, so I'll just reduce it a bit because I'm trying to create two data frames. Okay. So I'm just positioning it a little bit well, maybe something like this. Okay. Okay, so I'm just positioning it a little. It's just positioning. This one has nothing to do with this thing. I'm just positioning it well, so I can bring this one also here. Okay, so I'm just positioning it well. Okay, so when you are done, just click on zoom to full extent. Okay. Now I'll just bring this one here. It's just about just positioning them like this. I'll drag this one a little bit like that. I'll expand this. I'm just positioning it well, like this. And I'll zoom to full extent, like this. Yeah, it's just positioning, so. So you position like this, it's just positioning. So that you have the 1991 here, the 2021 here. It's best you have external mouse so that it'll be easy for you. Because if you are using your PC mouse, it sometimes gives issues. So let me give you like 2 minutes to position it well, then we continue. So I want 1991 to be here, 2021 to be here. It's all about just dragging and then reducing and increasing. Okay. That is going to full extent. That globe now. Globe. Click on the globe. Let's zoom. Okay. Can we continue? Do you have this? Do you all have this? It's just about positioning, just positioning. Do you all have this? Or you don't have this? Yeah, so it has to be within this boundary, or else when you save it as map, you won't be able to see them in the image. And also, today, I'm not going to add the grades to it. I'll add the longitude and latitude maybe next week when we are doing our study area map. So that is why I've left. I didn't leave any space in here. Can we continue? Okay. So now, normally when you look at a published paper and you see the map, what component do you see? Apart from the images, what do you see?
Published papers, you will see this kind of.
Yeah, so you see this kind of maps, right? So what else do you see in the published paper map? You see the title. Okay, mostly published maps does not have title. Yeah, because you have figure one and then you write it, map of this. But it has what else? Apart from the title, it has a key or a legend, right? So we need to add the legend, right? Remember, the legends are the same, right? So you add only one because each color represents the same thing there, right? So you add only one. So you can either add the 1991 legend or the 2021 because they are all having the same colors, right? So let's add the legend. To add the legend, you see insert, right? Right? You click on insert. You see that when you click on insert, you see that there's legend there, right? You select that one. So you click on insert and then you see legend in here like this, right? All right, so you select legend. I'm repeating again. Normally in our published papers, we have something like a legend in there, right? So you select insert and then you select legend. So legend basically gives you the features on the image, okay? So when you select it, you have something like this, right? All right, so these are the legend items. Okay? If you want to remove some, you use these arrows to remove them. If you want to include some, you use the same arrows to include them, okay? This is the map layer. This is what will appear in the key or legend. If you want to add some things from here, you click on the item, you click on here. It brings it here, right? All right, if you want to remove something, you click on it, you click on this one. This one is going there and this one is coming here, right? If they are multiple, you click on them, you bring them all there. Okay. Now, we know that we are working on AMA, so we don't need the AMA shape file name there. Okay, so you just bring it to your left. Okay, leaving only the image. Okay, well, some of you normally ask the boundary of AMA. No, you don't have to add the boundary. That is because if you already have a study area map and you don't need to repeat the boundaries. Okay, so the most important thing are the names in here. Okay, when you are done, you click on next. But before you click on next, you can change the columns if you want to, but we have only 4 items here. If you have about 10 or 100 items, you can increase the column so that it gives you some divisions, okay? But I have only 4, so 4 you can use 1. If you have 10 items, you can make it 2 or 3 or 4, okay? That is because 10 items or 100 items will be too long, so you need to make it in batches, right? So you can do it like this, but it's only 4, so we just maintain the 1, okay? That's the columns. You click on next. Okay, sometimes you see some papers leaving the legend there, right? Sometimes you don't see them. For me, since these are all features, instead of the legend, I'll just name it features because these are all features on the land, right? But some leave it as legend, which is also okay. But I'm going to change it to features because I only have features in here, right? So I'm going to change the name. I'll just highlight the name, delete it, and I'll write features. Or you can write land cover classes, any of them that you want, like this. Let me zoom in. Okay. Okay, some leave it as legend, which is okay, but normally I change it and make it features because I'm working on features. Should we go on? Should we go on? All right, so from there, you select next. Okay, I'll just leave it because this one is just the size. You want to increase the size, so just select next. Okay, so now this gives you a legend frame. So if you want to add a frame to it, like this frame to the legend, you can add it. There are a lot of frames in there that you can add if you want to. Okay, there are a lot of frames in there that you can add. Okay, there are a lot of frames that you can add. So you can either choose any of them or you can choose none. It depends on you. Okay, so let me choose 0.5 points. Okay, I can choose none or something. And there's also a background color I can choose. Okay, you can choose any of the background colors. Okay, so let's say if I want white, I can choose white. Okay, if you want a shadow drop is basically giving you the shadow of the legend, like this. Like there's a shadow drop in here. But I don't want any of this, so I'll leave it at none, right? I'll leave it as none. Then you can go next. All right, so next gives you the preview. So you are only previewing only AMA 2021. Then you click on next again. All right, so finally it gives you just a brief information about the options you made. Then you just select finish. Right, so it adds what to your map. Should I repeat this step? Okay, I'm repeating the steps. I'm repeating the steps. Now we want to add a legend to the map, right? So you can select this or that, right? To add a legend to the map, you go to insert at your menu bar, okay? Okay, and you see what's legend, okay? You select legend. It opens this dialog window for you, right? So as I said earlier, this adds item to the legend, this removes item to the legend, right? So I want to remove the boundaries of AMA. So I would select AMA and then I'll bring it back, this icon. So it's back to here. So I don't want it to be in here. You select next. All right. So this is the title of the legend. I can choose to change it or you can maintain it, it's fine. So I'm changing it to make it features because I'm working on features or land cover classes. Okay, when you are done, you click on next. Okay, so basically this gives you an option to add what boundaries to it, borders to the title, sorry, to the legend. Okay, so you can choose to not to add any boundary, but let me add this 0.5 boundary. You can choose to add a background color to it. Okay, I can choose white background color or I can choose none. Let me choose white. This gives you a shadow drop option which appears like this. So if the color is blue, here will be blue. But I don't want any shadow drop, so I'll leave it at none. But in case you want, you can just explore it. Okay, you go to next. Okay, it displays your legend item. Okay, it gives you information about the legend item. Then you click on finish. Then it displays the features in here. So you can see that the legend is now what features. And another features, you have water bodies, grasslands, forests, and built up. Okay. If it appears small on your screen, you can enlarge it. Like you can enlarge it like this. If it appears small, you can choose to enlarge it. It's fine. So I can just position mine here like this. Something like this is okay. What else do you have to add to the map? Apart from the legend, what else? The scale, yes, you have to add a scale, right? You have to add a scale. To add a scale is the same thing, okay? You go to insect, and this time you choose scale bar, okay? Go to insect, and this time you choose what? A scale bar. You choose a scale bar. There are a lot of scale bar options in here. You can choose any of them. Okay, a lot of scale bar options in here. You can choose any of them. But mind you, our unit was on km squared, so choose something related to km squared, okay? So when you scroll down, there's km square option, like kilometers, right? So you can choose kilometers. So for instance, if I want this, I'll select this, like this. Okay, so you can see that the metric is what in kilometers. So you can see kilometers. When you scroll down, you can choose any of them, it's fine. Then you click OK. So you can see that it adds it to here. Should I repeat this step? All right, let me delete this one. I want to add a scale map to the scale bar to the map, right? So I'll select, go to insert, okay, go to scale bar. You can choose any of the scale bars in here. Any of them is fine, okay? But since per my start, I'm using kilometers squared. I'll just use something related to kilometers squared, which is kilometers, right? You can use any of the options, it's okay. Any of the options. Then I'll click OK, which adds it to it. Okay, here you can expand it. Okay, you can expand it. Okay, you can also expand it if you want to, right? So let me just keep it like this. Yeah, so I can put the scale bar in here. If you want to expand, you can expand it. Something like this is fine. Okay, so something like this is okay. What else do you have to add? What? Yeah, you have to add a north arrow, of course. You have to add a north arrow. All right, so let's add a north arrow. It's the same as the insect as well. So insect, this time you select what? North arrow. And there are a lot of north arrows in here. Okay, so you can select any of them. You can select any of them. You can select any of them. Any of them is fine. Any of them is fine. So I can position somewhere here and I can enlarge it a bit. Like this. Okay, let me make it smaller a bit. Okay, what else is left? You are coming. Okay. What? What else is left? The north arrow. Okay, so if you want to add a north arrow, the same process, insert and then you select north arrow. Yeah. Then you select any of the north arrows is fine. Any of them. You can select any of them. Any of them is fine. Then you can position it here and make it big a bit. You can make it big a bit. Okay, so what else is left? Title. Okay, in published map, you don't need to add titles to it. You have a figure for figure 1 representing maybe this and that, but you don't need to add a title to there. It's a bad way of writing creating a map in a recipe. But if you are doing it for a project, you can add a title. So what else is left? What? The sculptor is already there. What else is left? What picture? Your picture? No. We don't add pictures to it. Someone is telling you, but we won't add a neat line yet. We won't add a neat line yet. Oh, there's something missing. What's missing? What? Of today, you're not going to add longitude and latitude. If you want to add next week, there's no time because yeah, next week I'll teach you how to do that. But there's something missing here. There's something missing. There's something missing. There's something missing. There's something missing in there. What is missing? Or you want to ask ChatGPT here? How do you know that this is 1991 and 1990? You don't know, right? So you need to add it, right? Yes. Yeah, so you added this in the years as well, right? You add the years as well. Some people they say you should think outside the box, but some people are thinking outside the box itself. Yeah, but it's fine. All right, so let's add the years. To add the years, of course, the same process, insert, and then you see a text in here, right? The third option. You select that one. Add a text to it. You click on insert text, right? You select that one. So the text appears very small in here, right? Yeah, so you can position it well. Maybe at the top here. right? Then you double click. Okay, you position it well, and then you double click on the text. You position it at the somewhere here. Some may choose to bring it here, which is fine, but I am bringing it there. Okay, you can choose to bring it here, it's fine. So you double click on the text, right? Double click on the text like this, which displays this. Should I repeat this step? Or it's okay? Right, so you type 1991 there, like this. Type 1991 there like this. So 1991. But you see that it's very small, so we need to increase the size, right? So to increase the size, you can choose here, which is change symbol. Okay, you see that it's very, very small, right? You want to increase the size, so you click on choose symbol. You want to increase the size, you click on choose symbol. All right, so you can see that you can select any of the SG formats, right? But I'll leave it mine as it is. Then I'll increase the size to, let's say, 20 or 18. Okay, let me leave it at 18. Okay, you can choose to bold and italize it if you want, or you can leave it like that. I'm just giving it style, that's all. Okay, you click on OK, and then you click on OK. So you have like this. Should I repeat this step? Oh, it's okay. Repeat, okay. So let me delete this one. Okay, so I was saying that initially the text was very small, right? So when you type 1991, you go to change symbol, right? It gives you this dialog window. You can increase the size to 18 or 20, it's fine. Okay, then you can choose to add some style to it, but if you like, you can leave it like that. So I'm adding a bold and then and more of an italic style. All right, then you click OK. So it gives you, you click apply and you click OK. It gives you the 1991 here. Okay, if you feel it looks very small, you can still increase it by going to properties and then increasing the size to maybe 20 or 20 something, right? So like this, you can increase the size if you feel it's too small. So you have something like this, right? So do the same to this one. Do the same to this one. Do the same. Do the same to this one. Let me give you some 2 minutes to do that, then we continue. Okay, let's continue. The next thing to do is to export it, but before you export, you can choose to add a neat line. Okay? It's more of an inner boundary, but you can leave it like that. Okay, you can choose to add a neat line to it or leave it like that. It's fine. So if in case you want to add a neat line, I don't want to cause trouble because some may click inside and okay, let's leave it like here. Okay, I don't want to cause trouble. You can choose to add a neat line or not. It's fine. Because if I say I'm adding a neat line, this line will be in here. And it's going to cause a problem. So let's leave it like this. Now we are done with the map. Okay, so we have the north arrow and everything in here. Now you export. Okay, you export as PDF or as JPEG, any image format. Okay, so for you to export it, hey, before that you need to save it because some computers can crash. So if you want to save it, so we have two types. Okay, we have the map document, which only works on your PC, and we have the map package, which you can transfer the map to someone to also add some things to it. Today, I'll teach you only the how to save it in map document. Next week, because of our time, I'll teach you next week how to save it in map package. So to save this work, okay, you click on File at the top here. You are saving it, just saving it. We are not exporting it yet, but we are saving it first. So you click on File, okay. Then you see Save As, right? You click on Save As. Then you save it in your file. You save it anywhere you want to save it. So I'm going to save it in my folder. Any folder is fine. So you go to your folder and then you save it in there. So I'm going to save it as maybe AMA. Okay, AMA, like this, or capital AMA. Yeah. So you can save it like as AMA like this. You are just saving it like this. You can see that this one has been saved. We are saving it as this. So in case you want to work on it later, you can come back and work on it. Okay, so you save it as this. Mind you, when you save it as this, you can't give it to anyone else. Okay. Next week, I'll teach you how to save it in a map package that you can transfer it to someone else's computer. So when you are done saving it, you click on Save. Now we are going to export this as a map. Okay, as a map in the form of an image. Okay, to do that, still the same thing. You go to File, and then you see Export, right? You see Export, this one, Export Map. You go to File at the top there, you click on Export. Okay, you click on Export. You click on Export. Okay. All right, so you can see that Save As type is JPEG, which is in the image format. Okay, and then the name is AMA, right? So you can see that if I zoom in, okay, if I zoom in, you can see that the Save As type is for JPEG, right? If you want to save it as PDF too, you go to the drop down, you see PDF options there, or any other file format. Okay. But I'll leave it at JPEG, okay? If you want to save it as PDF, SVG, but someone wants to add to their flow work or the workflow or something. But normally I'll leave it as the JPEG. Good, here is the most important aspect. Please listen. When you are doing a paper for publication, it's better you use a resolution of 800 dpi or above. Okay, 600 might not be clear for the reviewers. Okay, so 800 and above. Me, for instance, I want to avoid trouble, so I use 1200 dpi. Yes, so that 800 and above for publication is okay. Okay, for me, I use 1002. Okay, so let's say if you want to use 800 or 1002, it's fine. So let me use 1002 in this case. Okay, so please remember, for publication and those who are going for blind review, their thesis, 800 and above is required, not the 600. Okay, so now you can save the map in any of your folder. Any of your folder. Let me save mine in here. Okay, so I'm saving it in here. All right, so when you are done, you just click Save. And you see that it will be saving. See that it is drawing the maps down here. So you can see that it's exporting here. So it's saving your file. So now it's done saving. You can see that export completed. Now we are going to open our map to see if it's actually saved or not. So I'll go to my folder and then open the map. Yeah, so this is my classification map. So now you are experts in creating a classification map. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay, if there are no questions, so this brings us to the end of today's section. So next week, we are going to create study area map. Yeah, then the next facilitator will come in and do the Google Earth Engine. If there are no questions, thank you for coming and see you next week.